Pros, this is Mike with another Dirty Promotions video. This is actually going to be a very special promotion video because I'm going to be installing heat shrinking this 4mm exterior film. I think it's 4mm for my pickup that I bought. They sent it to me, the people from the Windcrest, which is Ultrafit right there. Ultrafit, and they sent it to me about a year ago so I could review it and use it. At that time I had a truck that had a cracked windshield, and I was gonna sell it and didn't want to really use it on that particular vehicle, so got myself a newer vehicle for me, and here it is. I already laid out the film. The tutorial is going to be on shrinking this 4mm in the exterior part of the window. I've seen a lot of videos of professionals and all types of individuals that do the heat shrinking, and I see that they do a lot of incorrect heat shrinking on the window, and therefore a lot of their problems that I see after the install. I'm going to show you a way that you can pretty much go around the problems and the bullshit of how it's shrunk incorrectly. As a matter of fact, if you see in the instructions right here, you can see a heat gun with a little finger, which they're not little, they're humongous, and it shows the direction from the top to the bottom. And even though this is an illustration, this is totally incorrect, the most incorrect way to shrink those kind of fingers. The way to actually get this done is through wet shrinking, and it's very easy for me to wet shrink because that's the way I actually learned for the first two decades of my career and such. I was so good at wet shrinking. As a matter of fact, in the window tint competitions in Houston, Texas, I got my very first place trophy doing a wet shrink on a 2002 Volkswagen Beetle, and those kind of Beetles, I believe they're the longest and hardest of all the Beetles ever created. So anyway, so that's that, and let me go ahead and show you through the tutorial how to heat shrink these deals. And for the people at Ultrafit, I guess from Windcrest is the manufacturer, Ultrafit the brand of whatever. Here it goes, and thanks a lot for the product. I already shrank part of the film and stuff like that. The film is pretty much supposed to go to the edge of the glass like there. I'm still gonna go ahead and scoot it that way. I'm gonna leave it about a 1/4 inch exposed, or yeah, 1/4 inch exposed all the way around. I'm not gonna cut on glass. I am gonna use the side of the glass as a guide to go around. And right here, it's exposed. I don't think, well, I cut it over there on that board, and I guess that's the best that I could. I don't like to cut on my vehicle or any vehicle, but one of the things is that it's going to be above the wiper blade there, so it's important for me because when the wiper goes up and down, I didn't want the wiper to be cutting itself on the layer of this protection here. Anyway, so let me go ahead and go to that side. Already done this side, and what I was mentioning was that I can feel that the film is the same type of film that I already used before. What the film that I used before doesn't last worth a fuck for exterior application, and these are the top manufacturers. I don't want to name them, but they haven't gotten their game together for exterior applications. And so this one I'm going to try. I believe it's a Korean or Japanese company, and I'm going to go ahead and do my little thing here. Okay, here's the gun, and let's go ahead and get on top of this deal. Let's get rolling. Okay, always top to bottom, and it is 4mm, so it's going to take a little bit longer to shrink, but it should get done pretty quick. And I have one of my biggest quarrels of doing these is that I hurt my ribs because this is so long. You can see I'm all dirty from doing some of the work here, cleaning the windshield, the exterior, and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, here goes. Takes a long time to affect the film because it is 4mm, but once you affect it, it should go pretty well like that. I think I should have managed that from the other side, but I think you should be pretty good there. the key to this thing is, you already saw the size of the finger. You need to heat shrink in a very, very steady motion. The complete area, back and forth very fast. The moment you stop your gun here and start doing this bullshit, it's game over. You're gonna roast the film. It needs to go from here all the way to here, constantly, just the way you're looking at it right now. My ribs hurt just from doing this because it's such a long process. But in order for the installation to go pretty smooth, you need to shrink it very evenly, because if you do not heat shrink it very evenly, you're going to have pockets opening, and then you're going to have introduction of a lot of debris into your window film from the edges. And this edge, I'm going to scoot it up about 1/4 and recut it after I'm done here, because what I'm doing here is I'm putting so much heat on the window film that there's some frying on the edge that I know it's going on. So that's one. All right. When I go to the bottom, man, I need to be in such an inverted position. It's so difficult for me. So anyway, I really hated doing this, and when I realized that a lot of the films that I was doing, they're coming back because they didn't last, I stopped doing it. And then these people are like, we got them film. Like, I know what the film is about. It was just another piece of shit film that ain't gonna last in the exterior. No, we promise this one's different. Yep. So did my ex-wife promise she was a virgin when I married her, and yep, you know the story. So promises. At least my obligation here is to just get it done, and that's pretty much it. A little tutorial that I know it's kind of like, no man, I ain't gonna fucking do that. I understand. I understand you 100%. It's very intimidating to work with such big fingers. But it's doable, man. It's very, very doable. It's just air, and the air manipulating the air so it can be going in the areas that I need to affect the window film for shrinking. And like I told Josh over there from Sulphur Springs was that you cannot move the film until you affect it. The same is true of this particular, or any heat shrink in the world. You cannot be moving the film until you affect it. So I'm playing with the air, affecting every inch of the install so it can be shrunk properly. There you go, we're almost done. Does the film get ghosting doing this? It can. I'm assuming that if you leave your gun longer than normal, you're gonna get some blurry images of adhesive, and that I would call a disturbance or a distortion or ghosting or that kind of stuff. We're almost done. Almost done. I've done this so many times that it just becomes a little bit second nature to me to do this, and it's wet shrinking. It's not like the illustration from here to here. Don't do that unless you really want to mess up the pattern and mess up your hours and film and all that. That should lay down pretty good when I'm done monkeying with it. Because it's really in the center, it's out of the way of the areas. On the sides, if it will be open, I'll be concerned because I said when I put it down, it keeps popping open because it's not shrunk properly, then debris is going to go in and it's going to show. On this one, it's not laid, it's just shrunk. And then we're going to go ahead and I'll install it tomorrow when my guys are here because I cannot install that thing on my own. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and see you guys tomorrow, and hope you enjoy this video. GoPro, stop recording.